everyone, welcome back into Go Throw's production of the 2025 Taupō Classic presented by Kosana, New Zealand. This is round 2 back 9 coverage from Spa Park. I'm Nate Perkins here with 5-time world champion Juliana Korver. You're battling Emily Weatherman, Taylor Choceck, Sofia Donnecke at one of the coolest disc golf venues in the world. That's the green of hole 9. That just showed its teeth. Here we are. All right, we're tied at the top. You're 5 back of Taylor and Emily. And we're starting off with a really cool downhill par 3.
Hole 10 is deceivingly hard. It's only 394 feet, and because it's downhill, you can reach it with a fairway or even a mid. But there's this OB line on the right that comes into play because you're scared of the mandatory on the left, and there's also a branch pretty close to the tee that forces you to throw low.
And we saw Taylor put this mid in the circle yesterday. Let's see if she can repeat. And that's the miss we've seen a few times the last couple weeks, is that high miss.
Yeah, she was a little right side, and she got lucky that she got through the trees on the right, and it pushed her back into the fairway.
It's 2 days in a row Emily's going to make that mistake.
Almost the exact shot, though. Yesterday it kicked up in the air and went into the out of bounds. Today it was forced down.
Then I need to slow down. And she is safe. She's past the pin there.
We couldn't tell if that had gone too long or not.
Get back in there. Oh, and that's going to be 2 days in a row. Getting on top of it just a hair too much.
Such good control.
It's just a time. Wow.
Slides a little bit past it, but that shouldn't be a problem. Emily's such a good putter.
And we've talked about it a bit, but the grass here has that shuffleboard effect. There's just no friction whatsoever. You just slide. And, you know, we got a little bit of it in practice, but it just becomes that much more precarious in the competition, trying to know when it isn't going to slide.
Right. Taylor get the little skip and a little roll away from the basket.
It's really hard to land where Sofia did. It's a big time shot. Really that first clean right side miss we've seen from C1 for Emily.
Taylor saves her par.
Yeah, that'll be Emily's first bogey of the day.
Moving on to the tiny hole 11. It's only 190 feet, but it is uphill and it is through all of these trees. You need to find your line and hope that you can get the disc to stay near the basket, as rollaways are a huge potential on this very sloped green.
Yeah, pure through the gap. Oh, and Sofia's still throwing fast here.
She throws it way up in the air.
Interesting play. She's going to throw a little flex. That takes a lot of touch. On with the backhand here.
Very direct route. Close to where she ended up yesterday. Perhaps even a little closer to the basket.
Now, are you aiming left gap?
Yes.
The wider of the two. Oh, and you're going to find that center tree. That tree you hit kind of cuts that gap in half.
I got a big kick. Almost off the fairway.
You're in the parking lot?
Yes.
Ah, you didn't kick that leg up high enough.
Is that what it was?
Got to give it the JK flair. There we go. She missed that putt yesterday, and it rolled all the way down the hill.
And hit her bag.
Oh, that's right.
So before that putt, she turns to Robert, and she says, make sure you grab my bag if I don't hit this. He said, I'm not worried. You're going to hit it.
Oh, wow. That's good insight right there. That could have stayed. Just crawls out the back.
Yeah, I didn't hit the pocket perfectly, but yeah, it seemed like
that one goes in.
I know.
It's funny. It's just like the front of the rim. And it crawls in, and yours is like in the bucket, crawls out. That's the way that the disc just, it's a round object. It does funny things. Sometimes it doesn't always appear fair.
Well, nothing unfair about Taylor's birdie right there. It was a beautiful drive, and she finishes it off. Hole 12, par 3, 335 feet. A little bit of a low clearance shot. There is out of bounds on the right. Land slopes up towards the basket, so it can be hard to get the disc high enough to get all the way to the green.
We saw Taylor throw a nice shot with this cicada yesterday. A little bit hyzer, looking for the flip. There's the turn, but just too much today. Stay safe. Just drifts out of the way of that pine.
Left side.
Is that star turn from Emily and this? Oh, that branch. It's right in the gap, isn't it?
It is. That was just a couple inches too high. Probably would have gotten to the green and it not hit that.
Still a lot left on the hole. Yeah, full putter shot right here. Perfect time to toss it in. Just kidding. Really. Yeah, Sofia hasn't quite found her rhythm from distance in C1 yet.
There we go. That's a beautiful shot. Emily saving her par.
She's, to me, top 10 putter in the division. period, maybe higher. You don't win a Pro Tour these days without a great putt. The way it's so direct and the pace control and the range that she has.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree at all. Hole 13, par 3, 279 feet. There is a mandatory that we have to throw to the left of this tree on the right. There is out of bounds, both left, long, and right. Fairly straightforward hole.
Yeah, good correction with the zone there. That's going to slide its way just past the bullseye. Oh, up against another OB line. ABR3 checks up though. Here's Jay from Emily.
Fading a little bit left.
Yeah, got stop in here going. No. No, this seems like you have to tone back a bit on the turn.
It's not the turn. That is a Mako 3.
Oh, okay. The color is just spot on with your turns.
Many of my discs are blue.
So Mako 3. So you don't have to tone back. You're just hitting it flat, and you were pretty disappointed with your shot.
It fell out early. It was nice and flat, so I didn't have to worry about the out of bounds, but yeah, it was not on the line I wanted. Taylor with a birdie and the CTP.
Okay. Yeah, we par framed this hole yesterday. Glad we at least got one in today. Sub 300, not a lot in the way.
Yeah, this is one that feels like you should get.
Or at least give yourself, an opportunity.
Uh-huh.
Quite a bit of separation happening on this card right now.
Your membership dollars have a huge impact on the growth of the game of disc golf. The PDGA uses membership dollars to provide and aid disc golf as it spreads across the globe. From tools like the PDGA app and Tournament Manager, services like the TD Helpline, and grant programs that support the growth of disc golf globally. Your active membership also brings you access to select member benefits, including free and discounted access to the Disc Golf Network. So sign up today, and we'll see you out on the course.
OTB is very specific on how they list the disc because they want you to like the disc.
Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
Not just marketing.
It's only the best.
Welcome back. This is hole 14. It is a par 4, 433 feet. There is an OB line way off to the right. Doesn't usually come into play. Low clearance here with this tree. If you can get past that, you've got an open shot basket on a little bit of a ridge.
Taylor can line up this flat to hyzer shot on the right side. Oh, and just out of her hand early. Don't see it too often, but it has happened 2 or 3 times this tournament. Talking to Erin, she's a little scared to pull it into the OB on the right. casual 400-foot shot from Sofia.
Inside of circle 2.
Big difference in the line here. The start turn, Annie to flat. Really nice. Gonna ride the hill. Just a jump putt up there for the top end bird. Maybe an eagle bid coming.
Emily's strong enough. She doesn't need to jump that.
Just matching your shot from yesterday.
I'm really impressed by that. You know, you've got that low clearance, so you really have to control the height of the disc.
That's pretty scary. That might be a layup here. Doesn't seem too happy. Maybe that rolled out just a bit.
Yeah, I think she did get a roll on that.
Sofia sends it. This is where Emily rolled out to. 24 feet. Oh, not going to catch the right side.
Missed by much.
No, she didn't. Similar distance for Taylor. Yeah, that's on the pole. Increasing her lead over Emily. Let's look at the scorecard from Taylor. Six down on that stretch from 4 to 14.
Emily with a tap in par. Par feels like a bogey on this hole. Hole 15, par 4, 528 feet. The first shot is straight, ideally far enough down here that you can see the gap and potentially be able to throw a sidearm through this opening to get close to this very iconic basket placed on this tree.
Found the tree line. It's hard to have an aiming point on this one because you can't quite see the ground where you're trying to land. And you certainly can't see the OB line off in the distance.
No, you can't.
But as we said, you don't really have to worry about the D there. So you can just kind of rip on this.
I can, but I don't. I let that go early again. And I find the out of bounds.
Oh, that's a big miss right there because now you're way back, out of position. It's pretty much instant bogey at best from there.
That's absolutely true.
Emily throws it a little further than yesterday, but it's still going to have a tough angle.
That was a terrible shot, too. I almost go out of bounds with that one. Never got that up in the air. It wasn't even close to the line I wanted.
Doesn't advance very far.
And she's still pinched on that right side.
Oh no, and she's going to see this roll back out of the gap. Yeah, you can't even really attack the green when the angle's that tight. Taylor in a world of hurt over here.
Going through the woods.
You need this up and down for the single bogey. And you're still going to have to make a little bit of a putt. Emily, par's going to be picking up some strokes here. Taylor, still pretty tricky. I mean, she's going middle gap here. Okay, she's going to find her own gap. Still work for the single. Tough hole, JK.
Tough day.
Taylor for single. Yep. It's a good stroke right there. This is just enough of an elevated basket that you can go back and forth on this for some time.
Definitely has that potential.
Oh.
Thankfully, the basket gave me one there. Nice solid putt.
Quite a bit of separation now. Not going to call it a 2-horse race just yet, but third is 8 back of second at the moment.
Hole 16, par 3, 318 feet. Very tight gap. This is a tough one to get near the basket.
This hole played really hard yesterday. One of the hardest playing holes to par on the course. I see more people double bogey this hole than I do birdie it. Sofia cruises through the trees on the left side. That's C2 right there.
Yeah, she found a way through the trees. She should have no problem getting up and down from there. Might even have a putt.
Emily going driver again. Takes confidence to throw a fast speed disc through that gap.
I don't know if she purposely threw that low, but if she did, I really like that because it's going to minimize the ricochet effect if she does hit something.
This looks pure. Keep flipping. Almost, but that plays really well for the par. Yeah, a tricky spot. That's still out in C2 now.
That almost skipped into the basket.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I haven't seen it a skip putt yet.
To save her par.
Dropping another one to Taylor.
Hole 17, another very wooded hole, par 3, 305 feet. This is an option, the left to right with either a backhand or a sidearm. There's also a straight shot. Right about here, there's a mandatory on the right-hand side and a basket and a little clearing.
She's looking high and left. Mako 3, I believe. Oh, that's tight. Needs some help. Double ricochet doesn't hurt. If it gets that right kick, it really brings that mandatory pinch into play. That's a zone flying clean through the gap. Similar to what you're trying to hit right here, is that correct?
That is correct. I'm throwing a road runner.
To touch the wrist action. Oh, and it nearly gets it. Did you bring a catch lid over here?
I didn't.
I think RPM makes a nice one.
I've already played with it. Trying to teach Simon how to nail delay.
All right. Yeah, the art of freestyle is, it feels seemingly lost to all the disc golfers. I don't know many disc golfers that, even bring out the lid very often. There's a small crew that does, but
it's a shame because there's so much joy. We can talk right through that miss.
It's a totally different discipline. Is the disc and the frisbee. They're similar, but they're just on a different branch of the tree almost.
Well, freestyle is such an art form, and it's so free flowing, and it's really dependent on everything around you. It's hard to have the same kind of game plan that you do coming into a golf round.
Would really love to see some freestyle events at some disc golf events. I don't think anybody would be mad about that.
I don't think anybody should. But yeah, watching freestyle is just amazing, especially if you have an appreciation for the flight of a frisbee.
Nice approach there. And this is where Taylor's hyzer forehand ended up. It is just, it's difficult to access the green on that one angle on the left side.
This is a hard green to access from any side if you're outside of circle one.
The lead is now 3. Double bogey. 1 over for the tournament.
Hole 18, par 4, 531 feet. Low clearance off the tee underneath those trees that are right by the mandatory. There is an out of bounds left, and the second shot plays like an island.
Yeah, really difficult finishing hole. A lot of danger.
It's a really fun hole to play, though.
Yeah, she's going to go mid-range off the tee and still not able to get under that late ceiling. Sofia, a couple discs. Mid-range as well. I like the mid play. I feel like it limits the chance of hyzering out left. I think if you throw fast speed right there, that's going to continue fading.
Pretty much everybody in the division has the power to get to the basket in 2, even with a conservative first shot.
Emily's destroyer is going to check up in a great spot. And you barely pushed this right side OB yesterday. Let's see the correction here. Yeah, no chance of finishing right. Is that ideal position for you?
It's just fine.
All right. Taylor's up first. She has a 3-stroke lead. Puts a move on it. It's going to stay on edge. What a shot. What a day for Taylor.
Yeah, she was on fire.
Yeah. Man, Emily's in a great spot here. Needs to match this to not lose a stroke, and she's going to do just that into the bullseye. There's a little battle brewing here. Emily and Taylor.
I'm throwing a putter here, so I'm not going to get a good skip.
And it's going to end up short. The stroke and distance right there.
It hurts.
A little wide, needs some help. Oh, and gets it just in front.
She's safe, but she's behind that tree, and it is really hard to access the basket from behind that tree.
We saw Jenny lay up from there yesterday. I'm also going to leave something.
Yeah, that's not what I wanted. It's much farther back, bringing that tree into play.
Left side, tries to stick it, falls out. All right, that's a great putt. It's for bogey, but they all matter. Still matters. Remember, we said top 3 cash here.
That's right.
No way. Just gonna let that one slip. Just kind of gifting Emily 1 stroke back. Nonetheless, a great day for Taylor. Take a look at the scores. We're through 36 holes here. Emily Weatherman, another 4 under par. Taylor 7 down. It's got to rate pretty well out there at Spa Park. She's 10 on the event, has a 2-stroke lead, and we've got a battle for 3rd place. Just 18 holes left. You're 2 back as Sofia and that cash line. Beautiful Waikato River flowing out of the Great Lake Taupō here in the center of the North Island of New Zealand. What a beautiful life. So fortunate to be commentating here with you, Juliana, in the booth of this Go Throw production. And thanks for joining us, guys, here for this round 2 action from Taupō. We'll see you tomorrow for the final round to determine the champion of the 2nd Tour Down Under event.